We have reached the end of our K4 ABEKA curriculum. Woo! It's that time of year. Spill the tea about the curriculum. How did it actually go? Surprisingly, it went very, very well. I feel that when you're going into homeschooling, you really need to have this open mind to really go along with your child and see what works for him or her. I think in order to be able to have a successful year, you have to be flexible. And when we were initially looking for curriculum for homeschooling our children, there was a list of things that needed to happen for us to be able to homeschool our children. I'm working throughout the school year. I am a teacher. My husband is working as well. He has more flexibility in his job. We were looking for something that was flexible for our family, was efficient, that already had the planning done for us, and we could just pick up and go. Hence where we came across the ABEKA curriculum. The curriculum itself as a whole, for it being K4, which to me is preschool, is very comprehensive. There's readers that come in there that you work with them. You have the alphabet flashcards that come along with the curriculum. We did cursive for K4, and we got the cursive formation cards that you can either put it right there next to them when they're doing it, or we hung them up on our dining room, and my son used that as a reference when he was doing his 4th grade penmanship classes. We loved the way that the Word of God was prioritized and woven throughout every single subject. To us, that was the most important thing. We wanted a curriculum that wove our faith throughout everything, and this did it so beautifully. You really do get a lot of resources as a parent. I feel that the video manual was something that was super essential for me because I was the one just like setting everything up. My husband didn't use the video manual as much. He used it to make sure that he was on the right day, but even in the workbook pages, you see that the lesson is printed on the bottom. We wanted to do this curriculum with our daughter first, before the official school year started, just to get the family acclimated. I am a planner. I like to plan ahead. I need to know how are things going to work ahead of time before we actually start doing something. And I don't know if that just comes to me because I'm a teacher and I'm always planning, and I feel like I need to have a plan of action. Preschool is really optional. You know, you don't have to school your kids in preschool. So I felt that with K4, I was going to have that liberty to switch things around, to change things around, and to test things out with our family. And that's what we did. My personal experience with working with a variety of curriculums in a variety of grade levels, anytime that I receive a curriculum in my job, I look at it and immediately I start thinking about differentiation, and I start thinking about accessibility. How am I going to make this tool, this curriculum, accessible to the students? In this particular case, I received this curriculum, which we had tested out with their video program. I was like, how am I going to make this curriculum accessible to my 4-year-old? Now, how am I going to make my daughter work for the curriculum? It's very different, okay? You need to think about what are your children like, and then make this tool, this curriculum, work for your children. If you try to do it the other way around, you as well as your children will become very frustrated. So we initially ordered the curriculum in October. We weren't able to give it a start until January. One of the beautiful things about homeschooling is that you really are on your own time. You make your schedule, you make everything work according to your family needs. In January, when I sat down, I really did not know what my daughter's attention span for things was going to be like. In my mind, I had the idea that she will actually have the capacity of sitting down and doing an entire day of homeschooling. That idea came to an abrupt stop after the very first lesson. She did not have the attention span. She hadn't had any direct instruction. So when I thought about this, I was like, okay, I need to step back. We're gonna have to slow this down a little bit. We're gonna have to break this up. We ended up having a very slow start into the year. Initially, I started her in her room. I moved the TV to her room and do the video lessons there with her. That was not successful. All she wanted to do was play with her toys. I mean, can you blame her? She's in her room. All her toys are there. Of course, that's what she's gonna wanna do. That's what she's done all along. Then I decided to give it a try with the TV in our living room. Though it was a tiny bit better, it was still not a good setup for her. She wanted to walk around. She was in the couch. She wanted to go tinker with the piano. To her, that was not gonna work. So then I was like, okay, maybe if I put her in a place where there is nothing distracting her, she will be able to do this. So I brought the TV into our room and we were doing school in Sean and my bedroom. And that actually worked for a while. She did very well. I sat through the lessons with her. Since this was something so new to her and to us as well, I wanted to know what was the structure of the lessons, how it was being presented, and how she was doing with it. And I also wanted to reinforce what the teacher was telling her to do. I wanted her to actually actively participate in the lessons. And I feel like if I just put my child in front of something and I don't reinforce what she's being told to do, it's not gonna be successful. She's not gonna be able to interact, as a video teacher is actually trying to get her to interact. We started homeschooling in my bedroom for a while there. Since this was in January, February, March type of time, I was still working at school. So how did we do this? Whenever I came home from work after dinner, before church, we would squeeze a lesson in. In the weekends, I always did at least one lesson a day. After she became acclimated with the structure of the lessons and the way the assignments went, throughout the week, I would do one lesson a day. In the weekends, I had upped it to 2 lessons a day. After that, I ordered a laptop for my son. We knew for him, homeschooling, he was gonna need a laptop. And I decided to give it a try with our daughter. And oh my goodness, that was a game changer. She was so focused. It was amazing. I was able to up her lessons to 3 throughout spring break. That got me so excited and so motivated. One of the things I discovered early on was the importance of organization. And if there was gonna be a time where I was gonna test out systems, was gonna be throughout this time. I tested a bunch of different systems. I did this thing where you would put all the workbooks in this box, and whenever the time came, I would just rip out the page and give it to her. I don't do well with paper clutter. I just don't. I don't like things being all over the place, just not having a home. So that method didn't really work for us. Eventually, I came across this binder system that I absolutely love. And I have a couple of videos in my channel sharing with you all how I organized that. What I did was I took all the work for the quarters and I would put in the binder the work for an entire quarter. And that just simplified the clutter, just made everything so efficient. Everything was in one binder. That's all you needed to successfully do this. One binder. You didn't have to focus on the rest of the workbooks. Fast forward to summer. Summer came and I really used this time just to iron out all the wrinkles for the fall. I started homeschooling my daughter every single day, 3 lessons a day. The goal was that by the time school started in August, she would be able to do an entire K4 day with my husband at the same time as he was also homeschooling our son. So the summer was essential for us. Because we did such a gradual increase, our daughter was not frustrated and she began to love schooling. She started looking forward to homeschooling every single day. If we would skip school one day, she would then ask me at nighttime, can I do my classes now? Because I didn't do them this morning. That's how much she loved it. By the time August came, we had established an awesome organization system. We all had an idea of what the structure of the lessons were. We had established routines. So when it came time for our son to begin his 4th grade year, we did the same approach. We started a very slow, gradual increase, and it was not as stressful as it would have been if we wouldn't have done that. We had close to 9 really solid weeks here at home where we had established all those routines. So that's how we made the curriculum work for our family. What we ended up ordering for her for K4 was the full ABEKA Academy kit. So you get the video lessons, the student consumables, and the video manual with the K4. And quite honestly, that's all we needed. I didn't have to go in there and buy extra cards or anything like that. In the video manual, you actually get a lot of resources in there. If you go to the back in the appendix, you're gonna see they have assessments in there. They have the blend ladders in there as well. They have the letters, like little squares of letters that you can cut out and laminate and use those to form words, or you can just go to Teacher Pay Teachers and print free ones. I don't feel like I needed to buy flashcards for anything. The video teacher uses all these resources during the lessons so that you really don't have to. If your child is doing the lesson along with the video teacher, all the things that she's using in the lessons is really all you need. You don't need your own set. Now, sometimes in the video, if a student is able to do this in phonics, sometimes they get a little, it could be an apple, it could be a caterpillar, it could be an ant, whatever it is. There's usually a cutout of something. If you want your child to work on that, I remember sitting there with Solaris and seeing that, oh, she's gonna be handing these out. And honestly, with construction paper, I would cut out mine really quick for her. So when she would participate, she would have her own, I mean, it wasn't always as fancy as the teachers in the lesson, but she would get something as well. You also get like these little badges that you can cut out and laminate and reward in that way. For my daughter, something that really worked for us is using stickers as a reward. She loved getting stickers. So at the beginning, we started with a sticker every lesson. Then we cut back to a sticker at the end of your homeschooling day, to the point that by the end, she didn't need any stickers. It was satisfying to her just to be able to do what she had to do for the lesson. I think it's always, as a teacher, I feel like it's better to have more than less. My idea when I get a bunch of stuff, I'm like, yes, I have everything I need to stretch if I have to, but I can always cut back. You get everything that you need to give them that really strong foundation so that then they're successful in the later grades. Because I look at the way Noah's was structured. I'll do a separate video on him. We had to acclimate him to the curriculum because obviously he didn't start with it. He started at regular school. When I look at my daughters, I'm like, man, if I would have known this was out there, we would have done this with our son a long time ago. It would have been smooth. Even he himself, as he would watch my daughter do her K4, my son at times told us, man, Mom, I wish you guys would have done this with me when I was in preschool, when I was in kindergarten, instead of going to school. We tried preschool with him and we paid for a month and it was like 2 times, it was expensive and it was horrible. Like he did not do well with that. And so he has that in his mind and he would see my daughter do all her fun songs and Bible and the fun jingles and the sayings that they said. And he would even sing along with her. The fact that even my older son finds this exciting and engaging is something positive. Us personally, my husband and I, really do love this curriculum. We feel that it is thorough, that is solid in biblical principles, and that is truly helping us lead our children in the way that they should go. I think that people get frustrated at times when they feel that they need to do every single little thing. And that's not the case. I, as a teacher in the classroom, don't do every single problem in a curriculum. I do what the kids need. And I feel that is where sometimes people get frustrated with. They go in and they feel like they have to buy all these things, all this extra stuff, and do every single little thing, and they get burnt out. If your child needs all that extra practice and that extra stuff, it's there. It's there for you to do. However, if your child masters something, and becomes very proficient in something, and they continuously show their mastery in a certain area, you can move on. With our daughter, I was sitting there next to her during her lessons, and when the teacher was done with her direct instruction, I would end the video there, and then I would take over when it came to the workbook page. And my husband used to do the same thing with her. One of the things that we wanted to is be involved also in the teaching of our children. I feel like they do such an amazing job doing their direct instruction. I wouldn't want my daughter to miss that. I do show you guys how I did that in the video when I did my K4 day in the life. One advice that I do have from a teacher's perspective, the curriculum is a tool for your child to learn. You are the master using that tool. Use the tool as necessary to meet your child's needs. This particular tool is an amazing tool. As the home teacher, you know your child best. And since you know your child best, use that tool to best meet your child's needs. As a review for this curriculum, I feel that this curriculum is amazing, is very comprehensive. If you're looking for a curriculum that has sound biblical principles, you are going to find it. This is it. In my opinion, I feel it doesn't get better than this. Our Christian values are definitely reflected in this curriculum, which is one of the things that we love the most. We were so pleased that we actually got K-5 for her, and then we got our 5th grade curriculum for our son. That's how much we like it, that we are actually doing it again, because it just worked so well for our crazy busy family. Make sure to check out my unboxing videos for our curriculum this year for 5th grade and for K-5. If you are a homeschooling family or are planning to homeschool, go ahead and let me know on the comments below what is something that has worked for you. What is a curriculum that you have used? If you have used ABEKA, let me know. What do you think? What are your opinions? Let's have a little conversation there. I really do enjoy listening from you. Thank you so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.